Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of today, Sunday, January 12th, through Saturday to come, January 18th. We're going to get right into it. Where's the dice? I didn't put the dice on the table, so I'm just going to shake them up so we start from somewhere fresh, legitimately. We're beginning with Forget It, Stay in Bed, and Cocktail. Forget It for me is often about surrender, letting something go, like not harboring certain feelings anymore, or concerns. Just like, again, surrender, letting something go. Spirit says dirty movie. Uranus just went direct. The ruler of Aquarius could be connected to that. Dirty movie for me tends to be stuff like sending each other pictures, maybe nudes. They don't have to be though. FaceTime and Skype, like online activity, online dating, all that kind of stuff. Buy shoes, maybe for the date. And yes is perhaps the answer if you ask somebody something, if you propose something to someone. All right, speaking of proposals, everybody's got some really awesome cards here. It's funny because in the general reading, all of the cards, although different, of course, I was just using one deck, the Rider-Waite deck for this particular spread. And so each card was different, but they all had the same meaning, which was we were about to recover things that we had lost. Places where we felt lack were about to be filled, right, with abundance. Every single card meant that. In the case of the water signs, there's maybe still in the process, not as close as some of the others, but they had the same cards too. Like they had already been through their struggle period, and so things were getting better. And now with this one, all of the cards also have like the same meaning. They all talk about being swept off your feet, really, in terms of love, commitments getting super, super deep, possibly even engagements and marriage and stuff, and like the love of a lifetime. So this is a good week for everybody. We're going to get started with, speaking of everybody, the overall energy of the Fool in reverse. And that's probably the only card out of all five of these that doesn't necessarily speak to that as it relates to love. The Fool in reverse is more so, how do I want to say this? It can mean that, well, speaking of Aquarius, this is probably, okay, wait a minute. I got to talk myself through this when I start to see and hear stuff. All right, so speaking of Aquarius and Uranus going direct, this may be an influence here. The Fool in reverse can indicate that our desire for freedom, dare I say independence, could really be getting in the way of our romantic relationships, right? And our opportunities for love. We could be sort of projecting even that like we don't have, at least in this moment, what it takes to be in a committed relationship, or we're not interested. We could be conveying disinterest, even if that's not the case, especially maybe if you're an Aquarius or you have heavy, Aquarius influences in your chart or, connected to you. Like I'm very heavily Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius, Aquarius moon, Aquarius south node, Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. And so I know this feeling from, inside. It's a very real thing that I contend with. And I've had the experience in relationships where, especially also being a Gemini, Gemini Sun, Gemini Mercury, Gemini Venus, and then some too. Same thing like Aquarius. People can think that you are disinterested in them. You're like, or in the relationship or in a relationship with them. and just like not at all emotionally invested. And maybe more of us will be experiencing that this week, because one of the many transits that occurs this week is the fact that Mercury, the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, enters the sign of Aquarius. And so it's like the planet of communication, for one thing, which is really, really good, but entering this very freedom seeking, yeah, that's the best way I can think of it. Freedom seeking sign. So not just communication and thought and logic. So it's like not much emotion entering this sign of freedom and like global large thinking. So not necessarily so interpersonal. You know what I mean? I always speak to the need for people to be interdependent. And that for me, that's a combination of independence and dependence without being codependent, which is toxic, or without being overly independent, which is toxic if you're interested in a relationship with another person. If you want love, if you are looking to meet somebody, or if you're already in a committed relationship, act like it. Okay, that's all I can say in terms of this fool in love. Act like it. Let people know. And it may be, again, more difficult this week in particular with the strong transits, and maybe especially the fact that Mercury enters Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, which just went direct last week. It may be harder. We may have to be more mindful of the fact that we have to be open. We got to open ourselves up. We got to open our hearts up. We got to share our lives with somebody if we want to share our lives with somebody. Blocking people out does just that. It blocks people out, and you will be alone. You will be solitary. If that's what you want, cool. Because some people are just happy being single. They're not interested in meeting somebody, and that's fine too. There's nothing at all wrong with that. But if you want to be with somebody else, it might be time. Also, right behind this is another reversed card that may be closely connected to it. And that is the Three of Swords, also in reverse. So perhaps indicating that we've, begun, or we're trying to move beyond those sort of things, that sort of behavior, right? And being closed off, not having our hearts open. The Three of Swords pierces the heart so it can feel, right? So we can feel emotions and experiences. And so now with it in reverse, it's sort of like you've been through it already. Perhaps there was a breakup, right? A relationship may have ended, maybe especially for a water sign, because that's the way it showed up in the general reading. For the general reading, in this position where I was talking about everything, not just love, where like I'm focused on love here, but all areas of one's life, the water signs had a card of, had this card. It was the Three of Swords upright. And so I clarified it with the Nine of Wands, indicating they had already experienced, for the most part, the struggle. And they're survivors. They made it through. So what the Three of Swords in reverse shows up to say is, yeah, go through any remaining feelings that you have to. And that's also what the Nine of Wands upright said when in clarification. It's like you're down, but not out. And you're almost all the way through whatever this experience is. So the worst is certainly over. And that pain and stuff that you may have felt, that sense of separation perhaps that you felt, whatever it is, however it applies to you, will very, very soon be eased. And so you're a survivor. You're victorious, right? This also can be saying, like reminding us, which I said to some of the other signs too, depending upon their cards. I think especially the air signs. We had the Five of Cups in reverse. Like not to make the mistake of getting stuck wallowing in pain. The message is that things are moving forward. Again, the worst is behind us. We're out of this period, we're out of this phase. Acknowledge that, accept that, and move forward. Like, don't wallow in this. So no self-pity, no self-blame, no self-persecution, guys. But yes, I do want to point out, since I picked it up and showed it already anyway, that the Queen of Cups upright is what was behind that Three of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Cups, of course, is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. In traditional tarot practice, it is most specifically the Scorpio, and it has always been the Scorpio for me, even before I learned that, because of this chalice-like thing here that has these, to me, what looks like claws. This looks like a scorpion or a lobster or something to me. And I think it was last week, actually, in the reading, I had said, I don't know what these little things are supposed to be, but this is what it looks like to me. It's always looked like a lobster chalice. And somebody commented, to help to educate me, thanks again, that these are angels, the angels that guard the Ark of the Covenant. And when I look closer, I can see that this is their wings and stuff like that. But I hadn't realized that. But what's interesting is, speaking of Scorpios, those of you who are familiar with the channel know that I completely resonate, and it's largely built around the Scorpion King, King Osiris, right? And that on this channel, we celebrate 11/19 as he instructed me to. We celebrate him on that date. And it's proven, even in the 3D, to be not just a very relevant number, but the date itself. For example, we also celebrated the world, the Muslim world at least, Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad's birthday last year on 11/19. So the number, we've come to know it to be true, those of us who've been on this journey and acknowledging it and resonating with it. So speaking of that, I had been thinking a lot recently about Revelations, the book of Revelations, 11:19. Don't ask, but yes, I have been. And it's connected to the Ark of the Covenant. So something, maybe, those of you who are into this sort of thing want to help me figure out what more of a message we could be given, or we are being given from this chalice that I keep focusing on, that is connected to the energy of Scorpio. The card itself is connected to the energy of Scorpio, and as is 11/19, which of course falls during the period of when Scorpio season, when the sun is in Scorpio. Revelations 11:19 says, I wasn't expecting to do this. This is so funny. It says that then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the Ark of his covenant. So maybe that is part of our message. I'm not getting all the way there. If somebody wants to help, feel free to drop a comment there. I would appreciate it. And I'm sure others of us would appreciate it too. Some of you will be DMing me, I know, because every time I say, go ahead and put it in the comments, nobody talks to me in the comments. They want to talk to me in private messenger. It's okay, whatever. So I'm just putting these back. That Three of Swords in reverse and our overall energy of the Fool in reverse. All right, so that takes us to the elements. Of course, again, this one represents fire. And the reason this represents fire is because I'm just starting from the beginning of the zodiac. So I'm going in order. Aries is the first sign. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces here. There's also something going on with Pisces. Venus, the other ruler of the sign of Gemini, as well as the ruler of the sign of Taurus and Libra, air sign. So these two, their ruler enters Pisces this week. And that may be another reason why everything is so very connected, more so than usual, or that I tend to notice, I guess, at least. All right, so let's get into it. Here you go. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Your card, again, is The Nine of Cups, upright. What a card to get for your position of love and romance. Super excellent omen, right? If you're already in a relationship, it's very likely to deepen and become much better, much sweeter, much more like loving and romantic, even potentially. Something that you've been hoping for in the area of love coming true, some wish, some dream, some hope, some prayer is happening, right? It's manifesting for you. This can actually be specific to love too. The Nine of Cups in general is considered a yes card, especially as it relates to love. And so this can be a yes. We had a yes in the dice too. Somebody could be getting engaged or something, or some other sort of proposal or offer could be made of love to you. And the answer again is yes, just like it came up in the dice. If you're single, you have a absolutely ridiculously good time opportunity to meet somebody, but you have to get out there, right? You have to mingle. Single, be ready to mingle if you're interested in meeting. I mean, obviously, again, if you're one of those people that I was talking about that's happy being single, again, that's fine. Then you don't have to go out unless you want to. But if you are looking to meet somebody, you got to be where people are, right? So get out there, have conversations with people. And again, maybe online is going to be helpful to you. Some people are not into that. I myself have never dated online, so I'm definitely not pushing it on anybody, but the energy is good for that if you're into it. Just don't be, when you meet the people, even if again you're interested in meeting somebody, you're open to that, just be that. Just be open to it. Like, don't attach a particular outcome. Like, I'm gonna meet this girl, and then she's gonna be my girlfriend, then she's gonna be my wife, and then or I'm gonna meet this girl, and she's gonna be my soulmate, or she's gonna be my twin flame, and then this is gonna happen, and that's gonna happen. Like, don't get too attached to a potential outcome. Just have fun, right? Just enjoy this time. Earth signs. For Taurus, again, you Taurians, this is not only your element, but this is your card, right? The Empress, and it's a really special card because, for me, it's a really special card because there's only one Empress in the tarot. So as opposed to the Queens where there's four, right? This is unique. You are on fire this week. You are a standout. You are super attractive. If you're single, take advantage of it. People want to meet you. People want to know you. People want to be close to you. People want to touch you. It's a very sexual card. If you're interested in pregnancy, you're ripe for it this week. If you're not interested, you're not looking to get pregnant or to get anybody pregnant, you may want to invest in some protection, because with the Empress showing up for you guys, not just the Taurians. I mentioned them first because, again, the Empress represents the planet Venus, which is their ruler. But I'm talking to all of you Earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn as well. You are hot this week, right? you are lit, and your situation is lit. Everything around you and about you is lit. So if you're single, again, and you're looking, you could really find true love. This is, mother energy. So this is, potential wife energy, that woman that's sort of well-rounded and overall. I mean, of course she's well-rounded. She's got all these energies, right? Taurus, Gemini, Libra. So Libra represents balance. And this is connected to this card too. So she's got it all together. You may find not just men and women that you're attracted to, but that like you're super attracted to. And it's not just a physical sense. It's just like an overall, like everything about this person really turns me on. And isn't that what we really, really want? Like with whoever we end up with, and however they may look or behave to other people, we want to feel, this is the most beautiful woman on earth. This is the finest man I've ever seen in my life. Nobody else may think so. And that's just fine. This is you believing that. This is, and the person exuding that kind of confidence that it makes it so. I posted something on my Facebook last week. It was this guy explaining what attracts men to women, at least from his perspective. And he also went on to mention what, turns him off. And he's like, he met this woman and she was not physically attractive, but by the end of their conversation, he was like in love with her because she exuded such confidence that, he came to believe it. She convinced him that she was gorgeous because she felt so. And she truly believed it, and so she made him believe it also. And he said that, like when we go on about minor, flaws, if they can even be considered flaws, like stretch marks and all this kind of stuff. He was like, no man that's been attracted to a woman that, we get together, we take our clothes off, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to put my penis away because you have stretch marks. And that's the way he said it. He's like, that doesn't happen. So if you exude the right confidence, and it's in a genuine way, not like in an arrogant way. Because sometimes I look at this Nine of Cups card, and this guy's very arrogant to me. So with it sitting next to that, we want to be careful of that. But in a very genuine way, it's attractive. It's not at all off-putting, and that's what you have the possibility for this week. That's what you're like set up for this week. Also, it's a powerful energy to be that, to have that kind of influence over people where everybody is just like, wow, look at them. They can feel it coming off of you. So you do have to be careful about how you use this energy and be sure not to underestimate its strength and potency, right? Again, definitely if you're single and looking, it's a great time for you to meet somebody. And even if you're not single and not looking, people are going to be coming your way. Committed relationships often become a lot deeper, and just like I said to the Nine of Cups people, more romantic, sweeter, just better, a lot better. If you're already in a committed relationship, it's already good. Just imagine it being, much more intense. It's a very emotional card because again, it's that mother energy. It's super feminine energy. This card, and balance is important. So that's when you have to, again, be careful about the strength of the energy that you possess when this card shows up. You don't want to get ahead of yourself and get carried away. But, if you can keep yourself in check, it's a great week for you. I don't know how else to say it. All right. But we're not left out. We're not left out at all, air signs. So don't worry. Oh, she said such wonderful things about the fire signs and then the earth signs, and then look at us, we got the Knight of Swords, and he's not very sexy at all. No, that's true. He's not. However, the Knight of Swords, as it relates to love, can be about being swept off your feet, right? In the most real and literal way possible. And this male or female, so even you guys out there, there could be a female that comes your way and sweeps you off your feet, and you're not used to that. You're used to being the one who has this power. But remember, it's here crossing the Empress. So the other person could have that power over you, right? That influence over you. Or you could have that, it could go either way. If you are in a committed relationship, the same thing I said about the other two, it's probably going to get a lot deeper, a lot more satisfying, a lot more interesting. Things are going to pick up, speed up. If it's been going too slow for your liking as an air sign, you need stuff to constantly be moving. Particularly if you are a Gemini, you get bored easily. You need life to remain exciting and spicy. Ever evolving. That's what this kind of energy is, right? It's very fast moving. It's very strong. It's very intentional, right? But same thing, you have to be open to being in contact with people. You have to be, because that's not very air signy, right? Especially with getting back to talking about Uranus and Aquarius. You may want to be alone a lot of the time. You want to be by yourself if you're an air sign. So that's not how you're going to meet people. You got to be willing to be in contact with people, get out, and mingle, talk, get dressed up and, have a night out if you're not used to that, or even places where you dress down and just hang out. Bookstores, maybe. Coffee shops. I don't know. But you got to be out if you want to meet somebody. And you never know that they may come in like a whirlwind and just, sometimes love knocks you down, as they say. We have that potential to be knocked down or to do it to somebody else, perhaps, right? This week. Masculine and feminine alike, male and female alike. That brings us to you, water signs. So despite the Three of Swords in the general reading, you too have a card that says when it shows up, you have the potential to be swept off your feet as well. And your relationships and commitments that are already existing are also expected to deepen and, to just get ridiculously sweet. I don't know how else to describe it. Just really just feeling uplifted and your love rising to new heights. The Two of Wands in the general sense, as it relates to divine unions, sacred unions, is the divine union or sacred union or twin flame card of the tarot. So not only could your relationships be deepening, but it may be with this very special, soul connected love for you. So that's awesome. Some of you may be feeling though, like you can't even see the potential of love out there for you, or even like on the horizon. And that may be connected to that Three of Swords energy that you're feeling, that showed up in the general. But even you, if you are out there waiting, not waiting to be found, but available to be found, even you can be found. It's not going to just like hit you over the head, right? The relationship or love is not going to just fall out of the sky and hit you over the head. But if you're out there, it can find you, especially with the Empress sitting here atop you. So all of these cards, again, in their own right, have this sort of very strong energy. And then, they all cross each other, and we may have like multiple energies here. Like I am both an air sign and a fire sign. Aquarius, Gemini, and Leo is me. I have a Taurus midhaven. Maybe that's coming into play. But, you get what I'm saying. Or the people that we're dealing with, right? Our mates or potential mates, they may share the other energy. So we have it all coming together. So it's super, super potent for us all this week. All right, let's get to the other cards. So, look at this. Okay. The overall energy here, this is the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck that I'm using. Overall energy here is this card 12. It's funny, today's the 12th, and it's called Observe. But this is basically the Hangman, right? It's like Major Arcana card 12, the Hangman. And so it's telling you to observe while you're in this sort of air of suspension, to look at things maybe from a different perspective, see other sides of it, right? The upside down side, the right side, the left side, to come to a new meaning. I'm going to read the meaning from the book for this card because I haven't used this deck in a long time. And the ones with the black borders, again, are like these Major Arcana cards. So it has a twist on it from just the regular traditional tarot and those meanings to a particular focus on love. It's the Psychic Tarot for the heart. So everything is heart-based. All the meanings are focused on love and the heart. So I've been enjoying like reading the messages from the book for people for these. But We know what this card is and we know what the meaning is. I was like, ooh, because this Six of Swords showed up so many times in the general reading and it's here again. That's why I was like, oh, okay. So healing begins. Even when we had, again, these difficult periods, these long periods of separation, or hurt, there had been breakups, there had been breaks, whatever you want to call them. We're moving beyond that, right? This is calmer, stiller waters, more happy times ahead. Just things getting better, a lot better, as we've seen with the other cards. Even where we've previously felt helpless and hopeless. And again, like maybe some of us still may, and we don't know how we're going to make that leap. That's what I was trying to, I don't know if I did it very well, but that's what I was trying to convey when I got to the the water signs rather. And I was saying, like, even if you just feel like, how am I going to possibly find love, coming out of this space that I've been in my life. Yeah, even you can find love and can be found if you're out there, particularly right now. But you have to trust. And look what this card is. Major Arcana card 0, which is the Fool. So, right, that was our overall energy in reverse with the last spread. This is telling us to trust, to have faith, to take a leap of faith. So to get out there, even if you're feeling like this, if you're wanting to meet somebody. Believe that things are getting better. Believe that the healing has begun. And the next card is also upright. It's like a 7 of Swords kind of card. Here it's called Seek the Truth. And you know what else is funny? Okay, so I was going to say that the 7 of Swords, again, is mostly about, swords are about logic and things and not much emotion. But last night, one of the signs had the 7 of Swords. One of the elements, rather. And I said, although it's swords, it's here in reverse and it's giving me a very cups kind of feel, emotional kind of feel, like you got to pay attention to your intuition. And that's what this card is saying too. It's like, definitely listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, observe what's going on around you. That's how you're going to get to the truth. That's how you're going to find the truth and, what your true path is at this time. So, you know what? I'll read the Trust card too, since that's also the black border, the Major Arcana. I love when I open right to the page. Okay, observe. Keywords: release, surrender, reconsider, patience, cycles, perspective. A new understanding around matters of the heart is waiting to be revealed to you. Be still and observant. Now's not the time to take action. Instead, take a step back and wait. Reflect upon the relationship or issue. What is really happening? You know what? I just got a message that this could really be particularly connected to the fire signs. In the general reading, they had the 7 of Pentacles upright. And I said the 7 of Pentacles can often have to do with waiting and being patient. I don't really feel it's that. I feel like, now's your time. Like you're going to, it's the reaping what you've sown period. You've already been patient. So now it's coming to you. But I think now also in thinking about the 9 of Cups showing up for you in love, where some of you could have been feeling like something is over. Yeah, like something is over, or something's not happening the way you expected or anticipated or felt in your heart that it would. It just seems like it hasn't been. That you need to, that again, now with the 9 of Cups in particular, that's what you've been hoping for. That's what you've been praying for. A bunch of you are going to actually manifest it. So don't rush to like judgment or rush to in something or whatever. If you're in this period where you feel like you need to think, you need to, meditate, you need to be silent, you need to observe, then do so, right? Don't get stuck in a 3D like, well, you haven't called me in a week, so it's time to break up or whatever, Give yourself the time that you need to figure it out, and pay attention to your heart and pay attention to your intuition. What's really happening? That's the question that the book asks here. And I think that's what, made me, what sparked that, like little vision or whatever I just had. Release the need or desire to direct the relationship. Exactly. Instead, simply go with the course of events. When you surrender to the experience, you'll learn a great deal and ultimately get what you truly need. Sometimes it's in releasing that we discover what we really need, as opposed to what we think we need. Trust the process, have faith in the journey, and let go of the outcome. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. That's what I was seeing and trying to say. Although forward progress may appear to be slow, exactly, now's the time for patience. All things come in the appropriate time and cycle. Progress in improving a current relationship or finding a new relationship will happen when the time and energies are right. When you're open and receptive to the needed change, it will happen. During the process of simply observing, you can also gain a new perspective on your situation. How might you think differently about it? Look at your relationship through the eyes of an impartial stranger. What insights might the stranger offer you? Listen to the observations with an open mind and heart. By taking a fresh look, you'll bring in energies of awareness and transformation. And you may be interested in saying this affirmation as well. I now take a step back and observe my situation in a new light. And again, the traditional archetype for this card is the Hanged Man. 0, trust. Or the Fool. Keywords: leap, dare, innocence, optimism, belief, courage. Rejoice! The universe is looking out for you. Now it's time to trust that the path you're on is, in fact, the right one. Yes, just as I said. Believe that whatever you desire concerning affairs of the heart can be manifested in the proper time and for your highest good. Trusting the universe takes courage, but it also removes the burden of doing it all on your own. When you feel alone or in a situation, it can diminish your energy and your desire to take actions that will improve the situation. That's what I was saying to the water signs. Yes. This card reminds you that you're not alone. It's a reminder that positive energy is available to you to manifest what you truly desire. In addition to trust, this is a card of action and opportunity. Once we know that the universe has our back, we are free to take that all-important leap of faith and to pursue our dreams concerning affairs of the heart. Put aside any fear, disillusionment, frustration, or hopelessness and open your heart to what you desire. Do it now with the carefree innocence that you had as a child and expect to receive what you need. Take steps to find love or to improve or strengthen a relationship. Take some risks and maintain an attitude of positive expectancy. I just thought about how you guys had also the water sign in particular had, the Empress sitting atop you. That's the expectancy, right? She's expecting. She's pregnant in the picture. Whether it's a relationship with another person or the relationship with yourself, now is the time to take action. Even a good relationship can be improved. What steps can you take to achieve what you desire? And the affirmation attached to this card is, I open myself to giving and receiving love that is for my highest good. And the traditional tarot archetype is the Fool, as we said. All right. We just saw the 6, 7, and 8 of Swords, basically. Right? The helpless and hopeless. And we're starting with another 8 of Swords, or Winter, in the Animal Tarot. Behind it, although in reverse, is Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Because you could be blocking it yourself, right? If you're afraid, if you haven't been the fool, haven't been willing to be the fool, again, consider it, observe, look into your heart, look into your intuition, and take that leap toward love or toward the opportunity for love. We also have another 7 of Autumn or Pentacles here. The planning, resources, and efforts that you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. So this 8 of Winter or 8 of Swords, I think, is primarily about fear and restriction that we've placed on ourselves, not really outside influences. And this could be connected to another transit that occurs this week, and that is the Saturn and Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, 22 degrees Capricorn, master number 22, which also equals 1111 or 4. Speaking of Pluto and the energy of Scorpio, another Queen of Water or Cups. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. The Queen of Water is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Also upright behind her is the 4 of Water, which indicates there's an opportunity for us here. But there's an opportunity for us to blow the opportunity, right? To not acknowledge it, to not get out there, to not take advantage of it. Missing an opportunity. Discontentment or boredom. Open your eyes to the possibilities, right? This card also speaks to us perhaps being in that feeling, which showed up again most primarily in the spread with the water signs of, being alone and nothing good ever comes to me, nothing good ever happens to me. And we need to get out of that space and open ourselves up and our eyes to the possibilities and to what's going on around us. There is an opportunity for you to be super happy, completely emotionally fulfilled, a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. You have trustworthy relationships when the 10 of Water or Cup shows up. But we're at risk of, again, blowing it ourselves, stealing our own joy with the 7 of Air here. This can say we're not willing to take that leap. We're not willing to take a risk. We're not willing to invest in ourselves. Plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. Because we feel that way, or we're at risk of stealing our own joy, or what we're at risk of leaving ourselves with or manifesting is 5 of Earth or 5 of Pentacles energy, this feeling of being alone. Or this may be what causes us to feel this way and to potentially miss our opportunities because we have this, sort of preemptive feeling of lack and loss and nothing good ever happens to me. And, I'm dealing with mommy issues or daddy issues or rejection issues, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of change and moving toward the future. And so that this is a negative energy that you have to release to allow yourself to, again, invest in yourself and take a chance on yourself, take a risk, a leap. Because miracles do happen, especially if we've done the healing work. Right, we've cleared away the energy, we've surrendered and allowed the universe to come in and to heal us and to help us and to, we've recovered, right? This woman, she could see she was battered. She's got all kinds of scars on her face. She's been through something, right? She's had a life. That's not stopping her from still being strong enough and open enough and willing to go into full surrender. Because here she is nude, her breasts are exposed, she's naked, she's scarred, so she's been hurt before. That's not preventing her from closing her eyes, tilting her head back, and letting the universe do its thing, right? Run its course of running through her and strengthening her even more so and helping her to manifest miracles in her life. All right, so let's do a spread from the perspective of the masculine with the animal tarot. Divine feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Himself. The union or connection as a whole. Overall, what energy like the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection this week, what energy he himself is willing to. I'll move this over so we're better in frame. What the universe would have each or both of us do and even wants to help us to do, wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, and the outcome. Okay, again, the overall energy was the 8 of Winter, which I think is self-restriction. Divine Feminine. It's another Empress. All right, so we had to try. We're very maternal. We are fertile with energy of newness and abundance. And we have the potential to actually get pregnant. We are fertile in that sense also. It's time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. Major Arcana card 3 again represents the planet Venus, ruler of the signs of Taurus, Libra, and Gemini, and Venus, which enters the energy of Pisces this week. Masculine as it relates to the feminine. The 10 of Winter. It's the end of a career path, project, or relationship. That can bring feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So where there had been some sort of challenge or whatever, maybe as it relates to maybe between the two of them, or as it relates to him being able to have a relationship with her. Maybe he had an existing relationship, different things. And so there's fears surrounding all of that and moving forward. But if you want, right, genuine love, you're going to take that risk, especially if you've been putting the work in all along. Talking about the 22, the master number 22, that's also what this year equals, right? 2020 equals 22, master number 22. We have a universal energy of 4. That is the foundations. That means we've done a lot of the manifestation work. You know, we started with a year 1 and the thoughts and what we wanted to achieve. We had the faith in the year 2 of it actually coming true. We believed we could hold on to these intentions. The year 3, we went through it, man. Like we could see stuff on the horizon, but it wasn't quite coming. We weren't quite achieving it. And now the 4 is when you do manifest. So that challenge, that challenging time done, coming out of it, the next step for him is the Ace of Winter, Ace of Swords. So he's victorious again. And now he can have healthy relationships. For some, this can be, again, about these two people directly, masculine and feminine, and maybe like the mother of his child, like a relationship that's ending as well. Mother of his child, or maybe specifically one of these signs, Taurus, Libra, Gemini. His own mother may have had some sort of influence that she could be representing the feminine in that sort of sense, and, you know, a challenge ending there too. Masculine as it relates to himself. The Queen of Spring. Talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. I love when it comes in and supports me, like right away. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. The Queen of Spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Also the quintessential divine feminine of the tarot. So this could be directing him toward that. It's also a card of confidence. So again, where he's lacking now, where he's in fear, it's breaking free of that energy of restriction. Masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole. Ooh, 3 of Winter. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. And that could explain for some of us the 10 of Winter, like why he's feeling a certain kind of way. Again, for some, it can be about a relationship that has ended. We have these 3s mirroring each other, right? So maybe some sort of party of 3 had been going on with the Empress sitting here and the 3 of Winter of Swords mirroring at the other end. Some sort of party of 3 may have happened. Or, and again, a party of three doesn't have to be a love triangle. It very well can be, but it could be something like, again, his mother was an influence and maybe his mother made him break up with you, for example. And so there was hurt and pain that was caused by that. There was separation that was caused by that. And that is, now he's like getting his strength back, like grabbing himself by the balls and breaking free of the fear to perhaps recover and start out with a new fertile energy, recover the relationship. And again, the next step here, this is a clearing out of energy with the 10 of Winter Swords. The next step is the Ace of Swords, the 11 or 1, however you want to look at it. And that is a new opportunity, even though it's been difficult getting to that opportunity. That's what the Ace of Swords is about. Challenging times that result in a new beginning, right? Overall, the 8 of Summer, exactly, moving out of an old energy toward one that we're going to better resonate with, or moving away from a situation or experience or relationship toward something better. We're looking toward something higher. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. We could be moving out of a down energy to a more positive one. Like we've made it through the healing process. Healing's begun, right? And so now we want to move forward toward a healthier energy. What energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union or connection this week? It is 7 of Winter. So he wants her to take risks too. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables. Isn't the relationship or the connection, isn't that valuable? Right, to be cautious about what you're doing. Because that includes non-material resources, such as time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions, as well as what others might be doing behind your back. This can also be a masculine who knows that it is the end, that we can't necessarily fix this, and I don't want you, the energy I want you to give is to protect you. I don't want you to waste any more of your time on me, on this. So even if we've separated, we've ended, I still value you and respect you and want you to do the same for yourself. I want you to move towards something that's better for you. What the masculine himself is willing to put forth the energy this week toward union or connection, and it is unity. So this is a beautiful card for that. The major arcana card 5, unity, is actually the Hierophant in the traditional tarot, which also represents the energy of Taurus, right? Like, oh, I moved them over too far, huh? Like the Empress here. Taurus, Venus. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. Yes, so this card is also about, it's about commitment, and people like to see it, in love readings because of that. It's also about tradition, so it can be in higher institutions, so it can be about things like marriage, proposals, right? We're doing things the way they're supposed to be done, as I say. But for me, the Hierophant is also about the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves, making adjustments to those. So if you had been with somebody with whom you no longer resonate or align, your vibrations no longer match in any way, right? Just two different frequencies, way off, then it's time to make a change to those people, with which you surround yourself. So that might be a reason why you had to leave a relationship and move toward one that better fits you, right? It's always, we need to align ourselves with people of vibrations similar to ours or higher than ours, from whom we can learn something and continue to grow. And so that's another meaning of this 8 of summer, which is our overall energy. It's like you're looking for something higher, something deeper, something ascended. And so you have to get away from like the low vibe stuff. What the universe would have each or both of us do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm, because we have free will, is the 4 of autumn. All right. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building up walls that keep people out. So the universe wants to help us to cease to do things like that, right? To hold on too tightly to someone or something that we need to let go of, including ourselves. Like if we're restricting ourselves, we're holding ourselves back, we haven't been sharing ourselves, it wants to help us to stop that also. But the other meaning that I tend to pick up for the 4 of autumn or pentacles is, we need to get out of a situation. That we're in the situation, or in this case, probably relationship, for legitimate reasons, but not the right reasons to be in a romantic relationship. So what I mean by that is, I always start by explaining how it relates to like work, for example. You know, when you have a job that you just go to the job and it just feels like monotony in practice. You know, you're not at all emotionally invested in this job. It does not fulfill you, on any type of emotional level or whatever. You don't love it. As a matter of fact, you might even hate it. You hate going there. You hate having to get up in the morning to go there. You hate the people. They hate you. Everything sucks except for the fact that you get a paycheck every week, right? That's the benefit of it. So that's why you do it, because you get a paycheck. But there are jobs where you could get a paycheck and be happy, right? And be emotionally fulfilled and feel like you're living your life's purpose. The same goes for relationships. So you could be going through the motions in a funky ass relationship with a low vibe, person, or a person that doesn't match your vibe, a karmic, as they say, and realize that it's not working, right? It's not working. You need somebody that matches your vibration or has a higher vibration than yours in order for it to be continue to be conducive to your spiritual growth. This one served its purpose too, toward your spiritual growth, and has opened your eyes. Now you can observe, and you're seeing, I don't belong here anymore, right? I've outgrown this. I don't resonate with this. I don't vibe with this. It doesn't vibe with me. And it's saying, like, even if you do split the bills, and with this 7 of Winter of Swords crossing the 10 of Winter of Swords, and this one having like a key in its mouth, house key maybe, a wedding, engagement ring, a couple things, peace sign, money, pentacles. It can be about cohabitation, for example, like maybe people that live together. That needs something that needs to end. We've been together. We've kept up this relationship because we split the rent, or because we have children together, right? Again, mother of the children. Whatever reasons we tell ourselves of why we're sticking in a relationship that does not make us happy is why we're together. And the 4 of winter, autumn rather, showing up here in this placement with what the universe wants to help us with, means the universe wants to help you to get out of that. The universe wants to help you to let that go, and to trust that despite the fact that, you would cease to have this person's help in paying the bills, or you'd have to co-parent from afar, or whatever changes there are to your life, it will be better. It will be an improvement. It will open you up and make you available to where you do belong. And the outcome. Boom! Victory. And this is a card that also showed up in the reading yesterday, for the general reading. You may receive a promotion, right? This is the universe wanting to raise you up, wanting to help you to ascend, like I was saying here. And here. ascending, growth. You may receive a promotion, be chosen for a scholarship, or find that you're singled out for special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve the attention. Universe raising you up. When the universe gives you a promotion, it'll manifest itself down here in some sort of way too, right? Because as above, so below. So the universe gives you a raise, God gives you a raise, God gives you a promotion. That's the best one you could possibly get. Because not only are you ascending spiritually, but it's going to have its results in the tangible form down here in the 3D too. Now we'll do one more so from the perspective of the universe. That was the perspective of the divine masculine. So divine being or couple, right? This is all the spreads are for singles, couples, people in separation, people who are together, whatever. Recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to individual or shared progress. What the feminine can do to help herself, however, what the masculine can, what the universe would have each or both of us do to help ourselves and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, and the outcome. Again, the overall energy is the Queen of Water, or Cups, and maybe perhaps an actual direct water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. If not very well, still possibly an actual person in your life, yourself or another that's significant. These traits and attributes, at least this week, very water sign. Divine being or couple. Life experience, major arcana card 16. That's the Tower. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. So considering the last spread, yeah, somebody could be having a revelation of, I don't belong here. This is not my life purpose. This is not my path, and needing to get off, and whatever happens. It may involve an actual tower, actual building, like a home. Again, maybe you cease to cohabitate. Maybe you decide to cohabitate. You to move in together. That's a big leap. The Tower isn't necessarily bad. I know a lot of readers will say like it's the worst card in the world. It's horrible. It means destruction and your life is over. No, that's not true. More of a neutral energy, honestly, because it can go either way. And actually, even when it goes the way of, this is overwhelming and I can't deal, in my opinion, even those situations turn out for the best, right? It's for our betterment. So again, considering the last spread, for example, if there's a breakup, in the moment, that can feel devastating. Or if there's a separation, we're moving out. We're not going to live together anymore. We're four of pentacles-ing, right? That can be devastating in that moment. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be on my own. I'm going to, life is going to be so different. Yeah, but it's being different so that it can be better. Think Lord Shiva, the destroyer, right? He comes in, he knocks everything down. So it's like a tower. Knocks everything down to rubble so that it can be rebuilt on a much more stronger and better foundation. Again, think 4, 2. Year 4. Universal energy of 4. So that's the Tower. Divine being or couple, where we are. Recent past. Release. Maybe that's why we're feeling towerist. Again, maybe we released something. Maybe that some death came to something in our life. There was an ending that has us feeling one way or another. I mean, it could be an ending that has us feeling over the moon, happy, or one that has us feeling, sort of defeated and knocked off our feet, and it came in suddenly and unexpected. One day, husband came home and said, I'm leaving you, just out of the blue for us. We weren't expecting it at all. Death, right, to something. The end of a phase or situation. Spiritual transformation. It's time to move on, though. So 8 of Cups, again, it's time to move forward. Major Arcana card 13, release or death, also represents the sign of Scorpio. But again, Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, one of Scorpio's rulers, with Mars being the other one, has a major conjunction this week for about 4 days with Saturn at 22 degrees, master number 22, again, that 4 again, Capricorn. Near future. So that's the recent past. Near future. Unity. Major Arcana card 5. Unity. The Hierophant. Again, traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So in the near future, we're going to be in a situation where our soul better resonates with people, among people, or in the places, or dealing with the things that align with our path, with our soul. And this can be, again, traditional stuff. So we could be getting married. We could be getting engaged. We could be moving in together. The Hierophant can also be about, commitments, contracts, signing like it's crossing the tower, signing a new lease or something, a mortgage. Because something ended, so something new's beginning. We ended the phase where, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend. That ended, and that gives way to the phase of we can become husband and wife now, for a positive spin. Or we ended the phase when we were together with, somebody else and moving, living with somebody else, and now we're moving into our own home. We're going to be single, whatever the case is. Masculine higher self. The Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. This is a new opportunity. This is courtesy of Jupiter. It's not like a downer. This is a good thing. This is our karma being rewarded. The Page of Fire is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, or someone like into those traits or attributes, and could be, Jupiter himself, Mars himself, giving us these blessings, right? This is something about which you're going to be passionate, or someone about whom you're going to be passionate. So it's a good thing, again, even in consideration of the tower, which can scare people. And the T crossing the tower. So again, I think it's a positive tower. Blocks to individual or shared progress, however. The Sun, Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. So what's the block? Not having confidence in yourself, just like the last spread showed. Just like the general reading showed. That 8 of Swords, that 7 of Swords, not being that Fool in reverse, not being ready to take a leap of faith or to believe in yourself. But when you do, happy outcome. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun, also represents the sign of Sagittarius and the planet Jupiter. And of course, Earth's star, the actual sun, rules the sign of Leo. So really a lot of fire energy, very strong coming in. What the feminine can do to help herself. Major Arcana card 8, Justice. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. That's what she can do to help herself. Make some decisions that are right for her. Major Arcana card 8, Justice, represents the planet Venus, which again enters Pisces this week. Ruler of the signs of Libra, which this card represents. Taurus, which sits next to the Hierophant, and Gemini. Feminine, looking at justice and unity. This could be what she should do to help herself this week is say yes to whatever's being proposed, to have confidence in herself and in the commitment. Say yes, maybe even, again, getting engaged, getting married. Or for some, it could be the opposite. Having this sort of doing what's right for her could be getting out of a situation, allowing it to die, allowing it to end, and going into a place that better resonates with her vibration, her frequency. Surrounding herself with, making adjustments to the people, places, and things with which she surrounds herself. What the masculine can do to help himself to move past any blocks is the King of Air. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. So he too is guided to be fair, to be just, do what's right. See all perspectives and be fair to everybody involved. So even like in the last spread, even in consideration of a breakup, I still want you to have the best. I still want you to do the best for you. Take a chance on you, even if that doesn't mean me. It's that sort of thing. Or where it does mean me, yeah, I want you to take that chance. And I want you to accept me as I am. The king of air is somebody who, he is how he is. You're not going to change him. I mean, we shouldn't be trying to change anybody, but he is very masculine and very set in his ways, whatever they are. And so if he is with whom you want to be, and you can't accept him like that, then you should leave him alone. Right? That's the king of air. He also is often like a judge or a lawyer. So, maybe a justice of the peace. So again, he could be marrying you. This could be connected to divorce and to leaving a situation that doesn't work for you. King of air is a Gemini. We have all the energies of Venus here now, like in a row. A Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This could be, again, Venus herself, even though it's in the masculine energy, or Mercury himself. Mercury enters Aquarius this week, and again, Venus enters Pisces. But we have all of her energies here: Libra, Taurus, Gemini. What the universe would have each of us do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will, so we don't have to listen. Page of Earth, scholarly, dependable, patient and successful. Good news about financial matters. That always helps. Wanting to do something more challenging. Again, we want to move out of this like sort of monotonous, redundant energy that doesn't resonate with us anymore and move on to something better. A new area of study, right? We want to upgrade. The universe wants to help you if you're ready. And the outcome. Boom. There's the outcome. Moving on to that higher spiritual experience for yourself. The Eight of Water, Eight of Cups, a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful. Spiritual and emotional growth. Ta-da. Further advice to all of this. Those three spreads. From the Angel Tarot, the Seven of Water to the masculine. A complex decision. What are you going to do? The need to do research. You may have to look into it. Or that research may be from within. What do I want? You got to figure that out first. But stop procrastinating and get to it. You have options. So that's always positive. You have choices. This can be about manifesting your dreams too. These can be dreams, fantasies, plans that you've sort of conceived but never put any action behind. And now it's time for you to put some action behind something. Feminine, the king of fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. The king of fire is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and is the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot. This could be, guiding you toward your sacred partner. Soulmate connection as well. It could be telling you to take some initiative too, right? You have the potential to take action however you feel you should or need to in your life. Take the initiative. Masculine, for you from the Animal Tarot, Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess. This is a time to pause and to reflect. Not to take action. So you're going to have to take action soon. But first, again, do more research if you need to. Go within. Listen to your intuition. High Priestess, very intuitive. But also very smart, right? Wise, intelligent. She's got common sense too. Street smart. She's going to consider them all before she makes her next move. And she may not tell anybody what that move is unless and until a time comes that she has to. In the meantime, she's going to keep it to herself because she doesn't want anybody to mess up her plans. That's what you're guided to do. The High Priestess is a Gemini, or in traditional practice of the tarot, Also, often a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Feminine, it's the queen of autumn. More Venus, perhaps. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive energy in every situation or person. So even just like what I was describing or trying to describe about the masculine, that even in difficult situations, challenging situations, still wanting to be fair and diplomatic and see the best for one another and do the right thing and, cover all bases. The feminine's being asked or guided to do the same thing here. Masculine, choose your battles. Not every fight is worth fighting. Some stuff we just need to, again, be diplomatic, make a choice, and take a directive, and go with it, and stand by it. This is very Seven of Wands kind of energy, where you're making a decision, you're making a choice. It is the choice that you feel is best for you, and you're going to stick by it, putting your foot down. You're not letting anybody push you around and change your mind for you. But you're not going to necessarily fight about it either. If somebody doesn't get it, they don't understand why you made whatever choice you made for you, you may just walk away from them without response. That's okay. Feminine. It's another Eight of Cups. Can you believe it? Moving on. So again, moving toward what better resonates. Let's see the footsteps in the sand. There's a song about that. To show like God walking with us, like we're not alone, even in times where it might feel like we are. We have support from the divine, from the universe, to help us to get to that next phase that we're trying to move on to. And lastly, from the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, the Mystic, which is another very High Priestess kind of card. For me, it's like the High Priestess and the Star combined. It is very much so representative of the energy of Aquarius for me. So an Aquarius may be particularly significant, or an air sign in general, because there's a lot of air sign energy here surrounding you between, all this Venus stuff that keeps coming up and the King of Air that's here. It's a lot, very strongly out of all the air signs. Aquarius for me, because of air signs, they control or rule, like the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, the throat chakra. And so this woman here has a star, which represents the sign of Aquarius in the tarot, very strategically placed over her third eye. So to me, it's a very strong Uranus and Aquarius energy that comes through, but also water, right? So also I just see a lot of this deep blue makes me feel water. So also Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and that's why she's kind of like High Priestess-ish / the Star. It's about recovery. It's about healing. It's about using our intuitive thoughts to guide us toward our goals. And lastly, for the feminine, it's more air and water. I saw, and I stopped to talk about at the end of the general reading, or somewhere in the general reading, that I was feeling there could be a lot of air and water connections this week. So a lot of, again, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, somehow together or romantically involved, since this is the love reading, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And maybe we've had struggles before. We're figuring out a way to come together. Also very strong fire, particularly Sagittarius, because there's been a lot of Jupiter that's pushed through these readings in both cases too, general and the love. But of course, any and all of us can have an opportunity, a really strong opportunity to find or deepen our love relationships this week. This card, Balance, is true of everything I just said. So it makes me think of air and water, first of all. We have this blue feminine energy, and this white masculine or male energy. So that's like the water and the air. But also, speaking of something being strategically placed over a communication center. He's got a sphere over his throat chakra. He's got a sphere over his third eye chakra. And he's got one sort of blended in with these other energies here over his crown chakra. So that's very, very air sign. Card is called Balance, which also may be air sign, right? It could be like a Libra energy. But it feels very temperance-like to me, the card, and it always has. And temperance in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius. So it's very Jupiter, again, helping us to recover from losses, right? Jupiter is the planet of growth, expansion, karma. So it's making up for what we've lost and repays us, right? Only Jupiter can do that, or in that way at least. And so that's what this card is about, but it's also about balance between one's own inner masculine and feminine, and also in our relationships. Balance and union between the feminine and the masculine, and the feminine maybe being a support for the masculine and letting him know that whatever he has to say, whatever action he feels he needs to take, even if it is painful, he appears to be crying, it's okay. Like, we can get through it together, even if it means us ending up apart. Whatever you got to say it. All this air energy is about the truth coming out, cutting through to the truth of the matter with the swords, and doing what's right, doing what's fair, doing what's just for everyone involved. Hope you guys have enjoyed the love reading. I will be back with some other stuff. The astrological readings. I don't know why I keep having like a mental block to those. So again, I'm going to do each of the earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, perhaps in that order, since we still have some Capricorn birthdays happening. Do them first. And for the other elements, I will do the element as in one reading. So for fire, for example, it will be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. For air, it will be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For water, it will be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But for the earth signs, you will each have your own. A Virgo reading, a Capricorn reading, a Taurus reading. Thank you. If you enjoyed this reading or learned something from it, or both, please give it a thumbs up. You know, if you like the video, actually like the video. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. And we'll all pray that you receive your notifications, because many of my subscribers don't. Somebody gave me a hint last week too. They said that there was something else to check off. I don't remember what it was, but I'll look it up and put it in the description box. All right. I'll be back, guys. Namaste.